G'day folks, welcome back to Pete's Investing. It's April 23, 2024. This is the gold, silver, Bitcoin and US dollar update. And it's actually dropped, the prices have dropped on all of these prices since the overnight. Let's look at the heat map. And you can see there in the middle table there, gold is still bullish on the monthly and weekly time frame, likewise silver, but they've broken down into a bearish trend on the dailies. The US dollar likewise on the monthly and weekly are bullish, but neutral on the daily. And Bitcoin is predominantly neutral, but showing still bullish movement on the monthly. So first looking at the monthly, weekly and daily for gold, you can see here the CCI 150 is broken above its moving average on the monthly, and it's showing a bullish movement. Likewise on the weekly, although notice it's actually turning down and it's approaching the moving average band. And on the daily, it's broken below that moving average band, so it's bearish. Now, if we look at the daily in more detail, along with the hourly, there's that we did have still got a bearish divergence in play. You can see there are higher highs on the price, lower highs on the CCI, and that's actually, we projected this target area, and that's between the 23 and a 38% level. And again, for those new to the channel, it's basically that range there. That actually goes back. Let me try that again. That goes back to this point. That's actually the 23-38% level of that Fibonacci bigger band there. Now, it's not far off hitting that target. It's just shy of that 23%, but you'll notice the CCI is still dropping, so there's no sign yet of a reversal. Likewise, the ADX, it looks still bullish, but you can see there it's almost crossing over to be bearish. And on our stochastic market forecast indicator down here, it's been overbought and potentially going to turn down in the near term. On the hourly though, if I zoom in, you can see there we did have a couple of bearish divergences actually. One back here, came down, hit our target. The second one here versus higher highs, came down, hit our target. Now, again, zooming out to that previous low there, a significant low, that's actually broken down past the 38% and now approaching the 50% level. So we'll keep tracking this as long as it keeps dropping. The next key area is to look out for is the 50%. If it breaks below that, then it's a 61%. So just one day at a time, see how it goes. But it's had a pretty strong decline in the last few days. Next, look at silver. Now, silver's got a similar pattern to gold. On the monthly, it's still bullish. The weekly is still bullish, but notice a nice big red candle. And it's actually the CCI is turning down and approaching moving average band. And on the daily, it's also broken down through that moving average band and giving us a bearish signal. Again, in more detail on the daily and the hourly, you can see there in more detail, there was no divergence on the daily, although the CCI is broken below the moving average band. And I've just drawn a Fibonacci there just to show where it's actually resting. Again, not a divergence, but just a retrace. It's currently resting on that 38% level. On the hourly, we did have a bearish divergence. Lower highs on the CCI versus higher highs on the price. Actually came down, hit our target on our last video, and since then it's actually fallen further. And again, zooming out between that significant low and that high, it's actually broken through the 50%. And again, the next level to look out for is a 61% level. Next, look at the US dollar. Now on the monthly, we're still bullish. You see it's broken up through the moving average band. On the weekly, it's bullish. But again, just leveling out slightly on the CCI, so just be careful of a retrace. And on the daily, it's already entered that moving average band and it's giving us a neutral signal. So again, we might see a bit more of a retrace on the US dollar. On the daily and hourly in more detail, again, it's forming this wedge. This could go either way, but typically it breaks up, but we'll see how it goes. The CCI is showing a weakness. On the hourly, we did have a bearish divergence here versus the price. Came down, just almost reached the 23%, but again, it's been going sideways with that wedge we talked about. So again, that's our initial target area. So long as it's the price keeps declining and with the CCI, then we're going to expect it to at least minimum retrace to this area. Lastly, we'll look at Bitcoin. Now again, Bitcoin on the monthly, it's still bullish, although it's having a bit of a retrace on the CCI along with the price. On the weekly, it's actually broken into the moving average band, so giving us a neutral signal. And on the daily, it's been bearish for some time now, and it's been sort of fluctuating in this range between 60 80 and 73.66. It's just making a bit of a retrace to the upside in the meantime into this moving average band. So we might see a continuation to the downside, but again, we'll keep an eye on that, and that's the next minor support area to look out for. On the daily in more detail, again, the ADX is showing a bearish signal, although it's starting to contract. On the hourly, we did have a bullish divergence here versus the price. It bounced, and this hit well above the 23.38% level. Initially hesitated at the 50% level, retrace, and it made it further high. Now it's resting around the 61% level of the Fibonacci retrace between that range. If this breaks a lot higher, we're going to see a more bullish outlook for Bitcoin. To support us more, go to the Patreon page where we look at weekly scans of bullish shares. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.